Hi.
Hi.
So we are here with Julie Cotton. And Julie is a member of Sick Puppies Comedy, but she is also on a pretty significant project right now. So I thought before her episode aired on television next Monday, July 6th on Nickelodeon, we'd sit down and chat with her a little bit. So you're either watching this because you're watching it or you're listening to it on our Sick Puppies podcast. So hi, Julie.
Hi, Casey.
So tell us about the project. What are you doing?
I am working with Nickelodeon down in Miami. A company called Cinemat is producing, and the project is called Talia in the Kitchen. And I can't disclose too much about the project itself, but it's going to be airing right after Every Which Way, which is 7 o'clock. Our show comes on at 7:30 right after that.
Cool.
Very exciting. Lots of youth, young people, young actors, fun stuff. Very vibrant, fun show taking place. It's set in Miami.
And what's the demographic? What's the demographic that it's targeting?
You mean as far as like age group?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as kids as young as, I would say TV watching age, whatever, like maybe 5, 6 even. There's younger group in there, and then there's an older like high school age group. So there's plot, a little bit of plot going on for each of those groups that's age relevant. It's fun. And then you've got adult stuff going on too. You've got their
adult stuff.
Not yet, but
July 6th, Monday. Adult stuff.
Adult stuff, yeah.
Don't disclose what is happening.
Don't say that we're doing adult stuff.
But there's adult stuff happening in this project.
Yes.
There are adults on the project.
There are adults on the project. We're there. We're representing. Way to represent.
Now, if you don't mind sharing with us, how long have you been auditioning for camera?
That's a great question. In Florida, I've only lived in Florida for 4 years, and I had not done any on-camera stuff here until December of 2014.
So, and you've booked other work.
I have.
So you've been working for about 6 months trying to find... It sounds like you're starving to find business, and you booked this project, but you've also booked other things too. You did a couples resort commercial.
I did. Yeah, that's right. We did that. And
Yep.
Sick Puppies did that. It's a good one. You should check that out as well.
Go to couples resorts, YouTube, or
Yes.
we probably have it somewhere on our
I
website
think it's
too.
on there too. Yeah. And I've done some commercials. There's one that'll be airing up in the Northeast, and then a set of 3 commercials for a company called Choice One. So there's been a significant amount of stuff. I've done an industrial as well that won't be public necessarily, but it's fun to be a working actor in South Florida. Who knew?
That's awesome.
Who knew? Like that? Yeah, we just watched the premiere as a cast on Talia in the Kitchen, and it was really exciting. Speaking with some of the cast and crew there, like we get to do this work, and it's like national television, but it's in our own backyard, and what a blessing that is to really be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of any other shows right now that are currently filming on a regular basis down here. There's Bloodline,
Ballers, I think.
Ballers, yeah. Ballers is one of the good ones right now that's filming down here. But really, most of the projects they're gone.
Yeah.
So, how was your experience? This is the first time that you've really done a TV show.
Yeah.
So tell us about the experience of the show. Some of the things that you really enjoyed, but some of the things you didn't anticipate.
Let's see. Things I enjoy. This crew and the director and the cast and everybody is so loving. They're a large Latino population, and you can just feel the love and the community oozing out of them. So every time I come in there, everybody's like, "Oh, mommy," and they kiss me. And my character's name is Aunt Tilly, so they call me Aunt Tilly or Tia Tilly. So it's just great. They're loving. They're kind. They're efficient. Like get you in. They get it going. They're very on set. It's very organized, and things are just going, and they're very team oriented from my experience, and that I really love and appreciate. I haven't really been on set enough to have things I don't
Well, not
enjoy.
even necessarily that it's like a don't enjoy, but it's like one of those things where it's like you're on set and you're like, oh, I did not anticipate this happens.
Yes. Well, yesterday we were filming, and it's so hot for them, and they have a truck where like a lot of the technical stuff is handled, and the truck overheated, so like all of it shut down for a little while, and they had to like figure out how to make that happen. That was kind of who knew that could happen, but they handled it, and they were right back on. Maybe lost 20 minutes. It was super cool. Yeah, and it's nice to have time, like when you think that you're going to go, but then there's something that they're fixing and they're on it, and so I would say bring a book, or or talk to the people on set, because there's plenty of people that you can like get to know and have and develop friendships with, and it's really lovely. But yeah, it's not as hard as you think it would be. Like literally one of the times I filmed, I got in there because it's an hour drive for me, so I'm driving, and then I get into hair and makeup. That's a 30-minute process, because there's a lot of work to make this look decent. And then I literally sit down. They're like doing the lighting. I'm in a chair, and they're like setting up the shot, and I'm rehearsing the lines with Sari, who's amazing, and she's lovely on set, and she that was it. Then we did a rehearsal, and we filmed it one take. It was done. I'm like literally on set for like 15 minutes. It was awesome.
That's the thing that's like the most surprising to me, for the few things that I've done so far, is the amount of detail and attention that goes into every single little detail. Because the stuff that we film or do is pretty rink-a-dink, but I think that sometimes I'm like a stickler for details, but the light and setup, but these guys are.
Yeah, it's an art.
It's
an art, and you can see it like with the finished product. You can go to Talia in the Kitchen, Nickelodeon. You can Google that, and they've got trailers up right now. And just the quality, high def, quality is amazing. It just pops. It's so intricate. Yeah. It's really great. And like there's a lot of kids on the show, and kids are kids. They're like futzing and pulling and but every time they do that, there's a wrinkle. We have to reset that because that wasn't there in the last shot. And their attention to that detail is amazing.
It's incredible.
It's really commendable.
I had to learn what a hero box was.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, so if there's a prop that is like the key prop, so like pizza is kind of the prop in a pizza commercial. The first thing, I come in and I got like the box, and I set it down, and I open it up, and I shut it, and they're like, okay, do it again. And someone goes, and they all like huddle together, and they have a powwow, and I'm like, whatever. Because first of all, when I went to do the commercial, I thought that you get in at like 7 in the morning, and then we're done at like 8:30. It's like a 14-hour day.
Yeah.
So I'd taken like 3 hours off from work. So they huddle up, and then they turn to me and they go, "Did you wash your hand when you were done with your pizza?" And I was like, "No, I did not." They're like, "The oil is on the box. We only have 3 hero box." So these boxes have to be pristine because it's high def and it's zoomed in, and some oil off of my thumb got onto a corner of the box.
Oh my gosh.
And it ruined the shot. So they had to go get one of the other boxes that's like, I don't know where they got it from, but I'm imagining there's like a safe and like a third party. They drill in, and
right.
But they come back in, and then they assign a person with white gloves.
Oh my gosh.
Their whole job for the rest of the day is that box.
Wow.
No one else can touch that box until the shot comes. Then I'm allowed to touch the box.
After you
then
wash
they
your hands.
assign somebody to come over and take care of my hands after and before every single shot.
Wow, that's some commitment. That is hardcore. I've not yet seen that on our set, but
it was.
There is definitely like we had done a pilot back in January maybe. Yeah, January, and there was a detail that was off from later writing, that from where they ended up going with the script, so we had to redo one of those scenes for the actual premiere episode. So that was kind of like how cool that they caught that, and that we can, before it's released, everything is able to be put back in. It's amazing. That film is amazing. And then, like theater, we only get one take, so I'm so used to not, like, we rehearse ahead of time, but then whatever happens on stage happens,
Yeah, and like if a prop breaks, you're like, well, okay.
How would my character deal with that in real life? What would that look like?
But like in the improv world, it's even crazier because we do have to pay some deep attention to
Absolutely.
to detail.
Yep.
because we have to believe that it exists so that everybody else believes
Yeah.
that it exists.
Yeah.
But speaking of improv,
Yes.
what do you believe you were able to bring to that set as really a full-time improviser? That's really, you spend a lot of time improvising, teaching improv for us. What do you believe you were able to bring in your skill set that that set you apart?
Improv is essential for film acting, or for any acting, I think. Just being able to be in the moment every time you deliver a line, every time you are standing in front of someone, every time that you are doing the shot again and again and again. I mean, there is a certain amount of doing it the same way so that it's so that they can get like your mark, the mechanics of it all down. But every time it happens, being with that person again, just like it's the first time. And that's a quality that really comes from practicing presence, which is a big part of improv. And that, this person is coming at you. And they'll direct on camera. So it's like, okay, let's do this again, but more energy, more high stakes, for whatever's going on. And so that person adjusts their stakes. And that, of course, adjusts your reaction, because now that's a different, response that you're going to have. And if you're rote, or if you've memorized, your lines, and I'm going to inflect on this line every time that I talk, it'll be this way, and then there's just not authentic. Really, it's not very authentic. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not as real as it could be if it wasn't pre-planned. So improv definitely allows for what's here now to affect you as an actor on stage, on set, whatever, on camera. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you have to do a lot of takes?
Not when it's just us. Like if it's just me, or there's the Dolores is the abuela. She's the grandmother, and when she and we go through it, it's really just one, maybe two, and then it's do it again because we've got to get close-ups or a different angle, but not necessarily for the acting. And then there's a lot of kids on the set. So when you've got a lot of kids, there's a lot of unpredictable factors that add into it, and blocking. So when there's more bodies, sometimes it takes longer to get a shot in the can, but otherwise, no.
That's a you thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was sweet. One of the people on set, for the day that I was there for like 10 minutes, he was like, came up to me after we finished. He was like, "You're gonna have to be careful. You're gonna get a reputation for being the one take wonder, kind of." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's not a bad reputation to have. Come on.
No.
I'll save you guys some money and time. Come on, let's do it."
And I'm easy. Those are the two things that.
I'm easy. That's the truth of it, really. Like all my experience.
So that's how you booked the show.
I was easy.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fair. So what else you got going on?
I am developing some conservatory style classes to augment all of the amazing improv training that Sick Puppies offers, and for other actors in South Florida that maybe are afraid to dip their toe in the improv world, to give them a little bit more structure but they want to buff up their acting skills.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to be offering that the end of July. Starts July 19th. It's going to be 9 weeks of conservatory training.
So you're doing 9 now.
We're doing 9.
Good.
There's a couple days that timing-wise I'm going to be a little late, so I wanted to give more time for people to do that. Yeah, so it'll be a hodgepodge of all the training I've had from Rutgers, Mason Gross Conservatory, and Uta Hagen and Meisner and all that fun stuff. Stella Adler, good, just conglomerate, and some Michael Chekhov physical techniques. A lot of just what you can bring to your world to help your improv skills, but from a more grounded place of crafting. Like, what is it to craft in the moment? Like, we're doing it on stage in front of an audience. When we get a suggestion, you go. But how do you learn what makes a scene juicy or full, or and practicing things like expectation. What I can give myself the gift of expecting something during this scene. And so even just that little bitty gift to myself, like I'm looking for something to happen, or I have an expectation of how you're going to be, and then you're not, so I can be disappointed or be surprised or be happy that you're not how I expected you to be, whatever. Or destination. I'm here with you, but I have something else that has my attention that I want to go do,
right.
But I have to be with you because because you're my scene partner. So learning how do you negotiate,
right?
What's my gift? And we do a lot of that stuff with like point of view. Come in with a strong point of view or a persona or a character, and there's more. Like, what are all the little when you're waiting for something? What does it look like when you're waiting? Nobody waits like this, but that's how we do.
Well, it's a universal. That's the way you tell someone that you're waiting. That's where
waiting. There's a bus coming, I'm gonna editorialize out loud
it's time to leave, honey.
Or telephone, like how do you manage a telephone? Like I'm gonna have I can have a conversation on the phone with somebody, and what does that actually look like? Creating the other half of the conversation for yourself. And so it's these techniques that you practice the actual doing this with an actual phone. This is different than improv, is we'll actually be using props.
Sure.
And I'll give you, you'll create an independent activity for yourself in the room, whatever room you're in, if it's your living room, if it's your bedroom. So you'll have a bed, and you'll have covers, and you'll have clothes, and you'll have stuff on the wall.
This sounds like luxury.
I know, right? You're going to have all this stuff to help give you your wear.
I feel like it's cheating.
It's totally cheating, but the beautiful thing about it is you practice it with the actuality of it, the realness. You're creating truthful doing in imaginary circumstances. It's still imaginary. It's still not your room. We're in a studio with a bed that's not really your bed. So there's still some like pretending going on. But how truthful can you make if you're in the kitchen and you're opening an actual can of peanut butter and you're using an actual knife and you're spreading it on actual bread, and like so that when you go into the improv world, I know what that looks like because I've really done it in my independent crafting, in my independent activities, and I know, am I going to put the lid back on? Am I going to drop my sandwich? I can't drop the real sandwich because I'm now obligated to this thing as long as I hang on to it. What does it feel like when I'm actually doing peanut butter and they get stuck in the bread, like, oh, I will in my mouth? Like, we don't do that in improv.
That's very rude how you ate in front of me.
Sorry, would you like a bite?
Yeah. With caught in your mouth.
It's crunchy. It's crunchy peanut butter. It's my fave. So that stuff we don't necessarily keep tabs on. A lot of times we'll have something. We start with object work, or we start with creating the where, but then it just disappears. All of a sudden I walk through that table.
Yeah, it's the most fun thing is watching beginners like have like not even just beginners, just any improviser where they come in, especially like when you get thrown a curveball by somebody that you just weren't expecting. So you come in, you get your platter of food, and somebody's like, I love you, I want to marry you. And you're like, I love you too. And all of a sudden it's like,
that food dropped on the floor. I wanted that sushi. Yeah. So yeah, it's giving people actual objects will help remind them of their presence, even when we take all that away and then put you on a naked stage with nothing. And then the doing this of like getting dressed. Think about how much time during a day that you're dealing with your clothes. People like. We futz with our clothes, we adjust, we scratch, impediment work, anything with like, if you have like an itch or something, or there's like bugs in the room, those don't go away. Like, if you're playing an outdoor scene in in Florida and there's mosquitoes, you can't just reference it once and then there's no mosquitoes.
Right, right.
What? No, that's your impediment for the whole scene. You have to be committed to. If it's cold, it's not only cold for the first 5 minutes that you're talking. You have to stay with the reality of that coldness the entire scene. You can't just be like, well, no, that's fine. Now I'm warm. All of a sudden, there's been global warming in the scene.
Global warming is an instant thing, Julie.
I'm so much better now.
Dude, it's hot as balls.
It's warm in here. This is the space that we're in right now.
This is
whatever's going on behind us.
So here. our high-end studio here in South Florida at Casperson Studios, where there's a lawnmower to our right.
Oh, there is. Oh, I thought that was a baby. Oh, it's both.
No, we've had everything over here. So there's
it's like a baby buggy and a lawnmower.
Crib. There's a whole. It looks like a baby funeral happened over here.
There's a mobile. The like motorized mobile with the little like fish or birds. I can't tell.
Just over the camera is our garage door opener.
It's just high tech in here. You guys don't know what you're missing.
You don't. Basically, it's Mark Maron copied me. Is basically what happened.
I don't know what that reference is, but I'm sure he totally did.
You don't know who Mark? Okay, that's all right. I'm not going to be the snob.
No, be a snob. Tell me.
He's the guy that interviewed Obama.
Oh, okay.
And that's when Obama used the N-word.
Got it. All right. I'm going to out myself. A lot of people that know me know this about me, but I don't actually own a television, and I don't watch TV, even though I'm going to be on it on July 6th. at 7:30 on Talia in the Kitchen on Nickelodeon. What? Check me out.
Julie really doesn't own a TV.
I don't.
She doesn't.
No.
Where are you from?
My mommy's womb.
That's gross.
I'm from Arizona.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
And so you grew up there, and where'd you go to college?
I went to college undergrad at Grand Canyon University, which sounds really fancy and that it might actually be in the Grand Canyon. No, it's not. So Arizona also has a nickname of the Grand Canyon State because the Grand Canyon's in Arizona. So Grand Canyon University is not in the Grand Canyon currently. Maybe one day they would get a branch there, but it's in Phoenix, a mile from my home.
Cool.
My childhood home.
Cool. And then what'd you major there?
In, let's see, what was the actual name? I went there thinking that I was going to do musical theater. That was what I wanted. I had a free ride. I had a full ride from high school. I did really well in school, so they gave me a full ride scholarship, which was kind of nice. It was like $55,000 worth of education. I'm like, thank you. But they didn't tell me that they didn't have the major that I was going there for. So I ended up graduating with theater. I wanted theater ed with a minor in vocal performance. So I did a lot of education, but because I took a long time and it took a bunch of credit hours, as soon as I had 128 credit hours, they walked me. And that was a theater degree. And I still had my student teaching to do to finish my ed degree. So, yep. So I graduated with theater/drama with a minor in vocal performance.
And then you went to school in New York for grad school, right?
Jersey, yep. It was Rutgers Mason Gross School for the Arts in, what town were we in? We were in New Brunswick, New Jersey. And
is that where you ran into our mutual friend,
David Carl? Yes. I love David Carl. Love me some David Carl. He's super fun.
And Nicole, who's now my friend, so now
yes.
mutual.
We're all mutual
friend.
Here. We did meet there at the old Mason Grocer. Good times. David Carl and I had been known to rock out some kitchen dance parties after some shows. David Carl's got some mean Michael Jackson moves. David Carl, if you're watching this, I remember. Good times. Good times.
And you did musical theater there?
No, they didn't have musical theater there. They had an opera.
Did a great job of picking schools that had exactly.
Well, I just did it, I did music my whole life. So I just kept doing it on the side, I just kept doing it on the side.
You know that thing that I really want to do? I'm not going to do that.
Well, it's funny because after I graduated, I started teaching for the Rutgers Summer Acting Conservatory, which is a high school aged prep camp, like a summer. You live on campus for an entire month, and you get to try what it would be like to be in a conservatory style training. And so we would offer them all kinds of classes, and the class that I taught was called singing, but it ended up being like a cabaret style where I was making them dance and sing and act. And I had my shower singers, and then I had my musical theater kids. So I was constantly in.
What am I?
You're probably a musical theater kid.
What?
Yeah.
That's nice.
You sing. I've heard you do karaoke.
I feel like a shower singer, really.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're not. If you ever see this man do karaoke, which I think there might be some video online of that happening.
There might be.
If not, there should be. Because we will do karaoke roulette. Roulette, that's the French version. Roulette. It is the French version of karaoke.
Karaoke roulette is you cook while you sing.
Ratatouille, no. It's a roulette. Yeah, so we just pick for Casey what song he's going to sing. He doesn't know what it is, and he just gets up there and he sings it. And he knocks it out of the park. And he's got this crazy range where he can sing really low, and he's got this crazy tenor screaming Aerosmith kind of it's awesome.
By the way, I think I've damaged my vocal cords.
Oh no!
Yeah,
not classically trained.
Not classically trained in the body.
In the body.
In the body and in the voice.
Yeah. As part of our master's program at Rutgers, we did have a singing class, and with John O'Neill, he was our teacher. And I think we were one of the only classes to get that. So we did have master's level training, and then my undergrad, I minored in it. That's part of some of the stuff I do is I can sing in 5 different languages. I was classically trained, kind of.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So what are the plans for you? What are you hoping comes next? What's next for you?
That's a great question. So next for me, in addition to keeping going with Talia in the Kitchen, is to give back. I came through, as you know, some trainings, transformational trainings. The company here in Florida that markets those is called Gratitude. And so now that I've kind of gotten to a certain level of being a demonstration and living my dream, I want to give back to others that are looking to create success in their lives, whatever that looks like for them. And, usually folks that are coming to the Gratitude trainings are wanting to take themselves to the next level. And they're not really sure how to do that. Like they've been kind of hitting their head against a wall, or they maybe have a great deal of success in a lot of areas of their life, but there's this one thing that keeps evading them, or whatever that is. So by going and being in service to that community and staffing some of the journey for people that are involved now, I can come in and say, hey, this stuff actually works, guys. I'm a living demonstration of it. The only reason that I even got an agent in South Florida and began auditioning was because I took the Gratitude trainings, and in the third level of Masterful Living, I wrote myself, a letter. I declared in the area of career that this is what I was going to do, and then I did it. But if I hadn't done that, I probably still would have been perfectly happy to just do what I was doing and stay in my bubble of comfortable. I love improv. And we have, sold out houses frequently for Sick Puppies, 150 people in the houses consistently for 2 years, almost 3 years for you guys. And so that's affecting a lot of people, and it matters. It's a big impact.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting point that you make, that you really have to declare what you want, because the more people that I work with, because as you know, I do personal coaching on the side, is... just like in an improv scene, when we're in a scene, we don't... you a little warm?
A little.
This is hot yoga, Julie.
It is hot sitting yoga right here. Yin.
Hot yoga.
Yin.
My breasts.
Ooh, you're a little warm too there. You got some
I got my titties going on here.
Little warmth going on here.
This is hot.
It is hot.
We'll edit more
hot.
of this in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put more damp wetness.
More hot
I'll
wetness.
put rain. I'll put a sheet of... There'll be flames behind us. I'm going to have to put something in here to give us justification as to why we're both just doused in sweat.
I'm like a fire-breathing dragon. I'm just like...
Can we get more dragon? I need more dragon. I need more dragon in my face.
That's awesome.
But you have to claim what you want. And the more that I work with people, that it's almost always the same answer. The question is, what do you want to do? So the question is always, or at least the way that I phrase it is, okay, do you make enough money right now? Most people say yes. Most people say I make enough money to get by and pay my bills, which is cool. That's a cool thing. That's something that I didn't expect to happen. Then the next question is, okay, if I gave you that amount of money, and let's just say an extra 15% above that, so you had some nice padding there, and you didn't have to go to work right now, and I just said, all right, you're done. What's the first thing that you're going to do? Most people say, I'm going to go home and take a nap and maybe watch movies and catch up on Netflix. And I'm like, great, you got to go through that whole process.
I don't say that.
Shut up, Julie.
I don't have a television.
Julie, you got your phone. You can watch porn or whatever. So what is it that you're going to do? And almost nobody says that they're going to continue to work at that job. But it's a really difficult question for people to answer. For me, I would do this stuff all the time.
Me too.
Do this stuff all the time. Go audition. Go set up my own movie, my own film, my own workshop. Continue to do and teach improv and all that stuff. So that's what I love. It's my passion. If I could improvise only and maybe direct and teach here and there, that's what I would do. And people don't know. And it's like, if you don't know, then it's on you to figure out what you want to be happy. Because so many people are unhappy, and they always say, well, I'm not doing what I want. I'm not doing what I love. It's like, well, you're doing something. So what are you doing that for? Well, it'll pay for my car. Well, why do you have the car?
Right. Yeah.
Like, if you didn't have a job, you wouldn't need a car. It's like, so...
Yeah, I think a lot of people nowadays have a belief that when they have something, then they'll feel better. Or when they do something, then they'll feel better.
Yeah.
And the whole idea, I mean, at least in transformation, the model isn't, do, have, be. It's be, then do from a place of beingness. Then you get to have whatever you want. But if you want to be happy, just be happy.
Right.
Like if you want to be, if that's
right,
what you want,
you don't need a reason.
It's not like I'm going to be happy when that spouse, when
But
I
that's
get
what
the
everybody
guy that I
says.
want, when I get the money, when I get the good car, when I get the job, then I'll be happy. No. Be happy now, even if you're scrubbing toilets or whatever your job is that you hate. It doesn't matter. You can still be joyful amidst the circumstances. Shouldn't dictate the being.
Yeah, because happy is just a physical thing.
It is.
Happy is just a physical
It's a
thing.
choice.
You put the face on.
It's a choice.
You can make your stomach kind of tighten up so that you can feel good.
Yeah,
you can be
right.
bubbly and bouncy. And
Right.
immediately by doing this exercise, I feel better.
I think you should do at least 10 solid seconds of laughing. Ready? Good times, right? Like, it's a choice.
I feel better,
Happy's a choice.
but I also want to drink.
There's some water right there.
That's not what I meant.
Yay. Hydrated. Cool.
So that is our interview with Julie Cotton. I'll get this
Yay.
up and posted online. And
Thanks for having me.
you bet. Thanks for stopping by, Julie.
My pleasure.
And congratulations on your show.
Thanks.
As you know, when you become world famous, this will become Julie Cotton's Sick Puppies.
Come see
Comedy.
a Sick Puppy show.
Yes, we have them. We got a lot of them.
The 11th is the next one, right?
The
July
11th is the next one. The Sum of 3 improv show. Then July 17th is stand up.
Yeah.
July 18th, we got a few improv troops from around the city coming in.
Nice.
And then July 24th, Julie's improv team at Sick Puppies Plays. And
Yeah, come
Should be
check us
fun.
out. SickPuppiesComedy.com.
that's right. And if you have a telephone, just go online.